your friends, we're never a bore. You haven't heard it like this before. Yes, it's time to explore the things we care for. And though your jaw may hit the floor, we're still the weirdos you adore. We're the weirdos next door.
Hello, this is Nobi, he, him.
And this is Nicole, they, she.
And together we are the
Weirdos
Weirdos
Next
Next Door. You copied me.
Sure.
Hello, everybody. It has been about a month since we've been out.
I think it's been a little longer than that.
Well, no, actually, I did check, and it said our last one was like a month ago.
Well, the last one we...
Well, that's what everybody else knows.
Yeah,
that's not what we know.
TV magic.
See, if you had allowed me to continue completing the sentence I was in the middle of, where you're sticking that into your boob, so it's gonna be muffled. There you go. Okay, better. All right. What I was talking about? Oh,
I so rudely interrupted you.
yes, yes. Horrible. You're horrible.
Have no manners. Raised in a barn.
What were we talking about? Oh,
How long we've been away.
yeah. I was about to say, the last time you heard from us was our interview, our second interview with our friend William, and that was recorded actually a few weeks before, and just before that was published, before that we had a couple extra that we had recorded, like some and games. So you had to take off, and we weren't able to. Well, a lot of things have been going on.
Yeah, we've had some big life things.
And so we should probably catch y'all up on it. Should we do the pets thing really quickly?
Yeah, I feel like we can kind of do it as like a good news sandwich, because it's kind of been
Right.
like how it was.
All right. So as far as on the pet front, I think we can't. I can't remember exactly if we did or not. Little Bear says we did, but my family had lost our family Kit Kat, Lucky. Had been with us about, was it 15 years?
Yeah.
About 15
Yeah, I
years.
think you said 2007.
Yeah, 2007. She was rescued by a friend of mine at the place I was working at, and he had the wherewithal to realize that he wasn't responsible enough, and so he posted on the company-wide email and
The work chat room.
yeah, and so that was the.
You brought her home to your wife's chagrin.
And I was just irresponsible enough to go, I'll take it. But totally bonded with the kids, and the youngest named her Lucky because my youngest felt like her feet looked like rabbit's feet, and that's where Lucky came from. Now I don't know where our next door neighbor's dog is. It was a Lucky, but there's no reason for it to be named Lucky because there's nothing lucky about it. He didn't have a lucky rabbit foot on paw thing. So I think there's an appropriation of the name Lucky.
Oh.
No,
They personally wronged you.
Anyway, so she did pass, and I think we mentioned that luckily that all three of my kids were in town visiting for their grandfather's birthday party, that they were able to all be there when Lucky was put down.
Yeah.
So that was tough, and they were talking about okay, so we can get paw prints, and we can get ash infused something, blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm good, no thanks. But I know the kids all got stuff too, so I don't know what they got, keychains or what have you, which will tie into what we're going to talk about later on here. But and then you had been talking about
the
Kit Kat.
The week before, we had just decided to start opening our hearts to a second Kit Kat.
Wait, it was the week. It was before Lucky passed, or was Lucky the impetus?
No, it was before Lucky passed.
We had been talking about it for a while.
Oh yeah, for quite some time. Yeah, because we discussed it, and you finally gave in on July 4th. I only remember it because it was that day. But July 4th, everything was closed. I had found that kit that we ended up going to go meet.
Oh, the cat that
Has a family name.
had the same name as your mother.
Yes, as my mother.
Yep. We went to go meet her, and she was
It wasn't the right fit.
no desire to like get to know us. Just like very just totally ignored us. Like, but boy, other little kitties there came up.
Yeah, she's not, or at that time she was not. Wasn't very people-y.
Yeah.
Like, so we had no intention of getting a cat that day.
No.
Like, it was just, oh, there's this orange cat that has my mother's name. Like, that's interesting.
And you were specifically looking for a orange girl.
For an orange girl cat, because
Orange girl
I
cat.
grew up with a orange cat that I inherited from my grandmother. So it was a very like close to the heart decision in the first place. Like, finally being like, you know what, I'm ready for another orange baby, because yeah, it takes some time before you're ready for a baby that
Yeah.
looks like your old babies.
Yeah. And I begrudgingly accepted Orange Baby because it really doesn't match
It doesn't match the aesthetic.
the aesthetic of
But
the
she's
manor.
like 1/3 of Smudge, who does match the manor.
Yeah, I guess.
But anyway, so we went to go meet this cat. Cat wasn't the right vibe, and that's kind of like the thing that has been a lot of the decision making of picking our animals is like,
Is there a vibe?
yeah, it's like, as cheesy as it is, like, do our energies meld well together? So that's why we have like such super chill animals. We got really, really lucky. But we ended up not liking that Kit Kat. We did meet some puppies that had like just been freshly brought in, and I swear I was about to bring home 5 puppies. 4 puppies.
You
4
were on the
puppies.
floor being like mauled
Oh,
by
it was wonderful.
5 like black lab puppies.
Yeah.
They're just like all floppy, going boop, 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 boop.
Like super underfed. Like, those babies were gonna need some
Oh, yeah.
good fostering.
Their ribs were sticking out. They were
Yeah.
probably neglected.
But they were so sweet. They were so cute. Yeah, we almost came home with 4 puppies.
But we decided to like move on with our day, and we had to stop at the feed store.
Yeah, we needed to get chicken feed anyway.
So we were walked up there like, oh, and they always have other animals,
Mm-hmm.
other pets like goats and ducks and
Yeah,
rabbits.
it's an active agricultural farm. Like, they sell their own eggs, they sell livestock, like they do the whole shebang.
And that's actually where we got our oldest chickie bird, Michael.
Yep.
And she does like just make just the grossest
She is a mess.
messy eggs. So I don't know, feed store chicken eggs, whatever. Not our designer ones.
But we ended up, as we were leaving, after we had already like got our chicken feed.
We saw a big cage.
Yeah, there's a big cage in the alley back to the car, and you see little Kit Kat heads just kind of like popping their noggins up over whatever
Yeah,
the barrier was.
We kind of thought there might be some kittens because it was kitten season.
Yeah.
And so we figured there might be some there. There had always been like puppies.
Yeah, there's always puppies and chicks, and they had ducks this year.
Yeah. and goats and-
Always baby goats.
Anyway, so like we're like, oh, are those? Is that like a bunch of kittens? And we like walk over, and I turn the corner, and there's just like this big massive carpet of this rolling carpet, all like a bunch of different colored kitties, like just kind of rushing at me to this big cage, like, hey you,
The person.
but way in the back was this like little orange girl just looked up and went like, and then a couple seconds later came over and goes like, hi. And
Yep.
then she really bonded with us.
Yeah.
She like started crawling all over us, and so
Yeah, as soon as we got her out, she was like all in,
and
and
there she is.
and here she is.
You can hear her jingle.
So we ended up bringing this little teeny tiny baby home.
because she will she do her and her nickname is Squeak because every time she like looks at us or wants to tell us something, she will squeak at us. Like, and I'm surprised. Like we have the food up here on the back of the couch, and she usually comes up here and squeaks at us.
Announces herself.
Yes, she requires that we acknowledge that she has arrived, and that we give her some, head rubs, and then she'll go eat. She is super cute.
She's so adorable.
She's an orange tabby, and she's always making biscuits. If you follow us on Facebook, the Weirdos on Facebook, or our Instagram, the Weirdos Next Door podcast on Instagram, you will already seen pictures. If you follow the Fur Babies Instagram, they are now, and this will give away the name of our newest member, Smudge and Crumbs. So the dogs have all been taken away from the.
They don't exist anymore.
They get no billing. They get no billing whatsoever. They are ancillary.
They were always support cast anyway.
Stop the licking with your mouth shit. Stop that.
As opposed to licking with what?
He's making these licky noises. Really super annoying.
But yeah, so we bring her home. I got her all bathed up and all that kind of fun stuff. By then we had done a decent amount with our day, so we decided to just order pizza in.
Yeah.
And I had the little Kit Kat in my hoodie that I had on backwards, and she was sitting in the hood. And I kept her in there while eating pizza, and at some point I just looked down and was checking her for crumbs. And Nobi asked if I had dropped food on her, and I said no. Then we just kind of sat there for a second, and I was like, but I think her name might be Crumbs.
I think I said hey, are you dripping crumbs on the Crumbs? She's Crumbs. Or something like that.
Yeah, did you drop crumbs on the cat?
Anyway, so her name is Crumbs.
Yep.
And her middle and her she is a Crumbs McMuffin.
Yes, Crumbs McMuffin to go with the rest of the McFamily.
You want to rattle those off really quickly to remind everybody?
We have Rocket McRib, Moxie McNugget, Smudge McFlurry, and now Crumbs McMuffin.
We haven't done that to the chickens or the birds, but I think maybe we could just stick with Fur Babies.
Yeah, the four-leggeds.
Yes.
But yeah, so she's been with us we're coming up on 3 months now.
Has it been 3 months?
Yeah, we got her on July 13th.
Yeah, she is. She's definitely a different cat. She is much more. I think her eyesight is better than Smudge's. I think her nose is better than Smudge's. I think Smudge might be like a deaf, blind,
She is not.
COVID loss of sense of smell.
She just has had COVID this entire time.
Yes.
She's one of the tigers that caught COVID.
Yeah, she's one of the long COVID and just lost her sense of smell because she can't find the food for the life of her.
She can. It just takes her a second.
But this little sucker,
she can smell
Crumbs.
food from the other room.
Crumbs is also gotten the nickname of the Menace because she's a little bit of a troublemaker.
She's a total troublemaker, but she's so fucking cute.
She likes to get into stuff, and she will. Smudge will be curious and want to smell what you have or what you're eating. But this one, Crumbs is very insistent on trying to this is my food too. Yes, my food too.
Like you see those YouTube videos of the cats that rip a piece of pizza or try to rip a piece of pizza away from their owner and just be like, no, it's mine now. That's her. She does. She wants to fuck up everything, but in the cutest way possible that you can't be mad at her.
But she has actually taken to the scratching posts, the scratching flat stations, and she's the first Kit Kat to actually make use of the doorknob scratching.
Yeah, the doorknob
pad.
hanging ones. We need to fix that door so she can actually use it.
I did get the
Yeah,
part.
I
I gotta find a drill bit. I can sink that in.
Yeah, so she's been here with us for a while now. Smudge is still trying to figure out why the fuck we have this thing in our house now.
There's some occasional bapping and hissing.
But not in like a super mean aggressive way, just in a like I'm hanging out with parents now. Please go.
Yeah, kind of an annoyed older sibling kind of like, I get the attention.
Yeah, this is my time. Please leave. Like
But Crumbs, we have been working on getting her to be very tolerant of our annoying intrusions.
our need for attention as well.
Yes, and the need to like her fur is much softer.
It's very fine.
It's very downy, and I think now you were telling me at the time it was like, oh no, that's just the kitten fur.
Well, because at first it was.
I think it got
Like
softer
it has absolutely. Because I was expecting her to have more of Smudge's texture. But yeah, no, she's very soft. She has very, very fine, like, fantastic fur.
Yeah.
And her orange markings have just been getting, stronger and stronger as she's blown out the rest of her kitten coat.
Yes. The thing is, though, we all agree that Smudge is smarter and Crumbs barely has a brain cell.
Yeah.
Can you look in her eyes and it's just like
there's nothing there.
Super vacant.
Like the stereotypes that orange cats share a single brain cell, she definitely lives up to it. Lives down to it. Whichever.
Lives up to it.
I know, but since the bar is so very low.
Well, can't live it down. No.
The dogs have taken to her just fine. Because like I'm very thankful that Rocket is, because he knows he's large and kind of scary, he lets the babies kind of come to him at his own pace. He kind of has done the same thing with all of them of like, I really want to play with you. I want to eat you, but I can't. Like, so.
Oh, he wanted to eat the chickens at first.
Yeah.
Until he got reprimanded very sternly.
So it was very much the same with Crumbs. Just kind of like letting her have her space and not getting too in her face, like maybe coming by for like a drive-by head lick, and that would be the extent of it. And then a couple weeks go by and they're snuggling together. Like it's been pretty nice.
And she has started sleeping in my bed.
Yep.
And but not necessarily like of her own volition. But I did catch the two of them like in the middle of the day, both lounging on the bed.
Yeah.
Like, all curled up, but up about 2-3 feet apart. So they're not like, sharing. They're like, okay, I'll share space with you.
Yeah, they're not cuddle puddle cats yet.
They have slept though, like
butt to butt,
lightly touching butt furs. That's just about it.
But yeah, they're not quite to cuddle puddle stage, but they're getting there. Smudge is just very annoyed by her tiny baby sister.
She is super cuddly. She'll come up and just like lie down next to you, and if you put a hand on her, she'll like immediately flip over on her back, go like, rub my belly.
Yep.
So,
and I'll make air biscuits and.
Oh yeah, those are the cutest, and she has some very loud purrs, but the funniest are her squeaks.
The squeaks are so cute.
Hey, did you hear Smudge when I was in the garage?
Mm-mm.
You heard
Smudge
yeah, was crying for me?
Yeah.
Like, she never does that.
And then, of course, this one comes up right after.
And does she start doing it?
Yeah,
No.
she started doing the same thing.
She started crying? Was that her crying too?
Yeah.
No.
She was the second one.
Oh, I thought it was just Smudge.
No, it was Smudge at the beginning, and then Smudge went away. And then she came up and
no.
said, yes. Oh, this is what we do when Dad's outside.
No.
Okay.
Oh, my God, Smudge, you're the worst. Where are you? That's one habit she did not need to pick up. I like her squeaks. They're cute. She's got a little bit of attitude, like. She's funny.
She's hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to kind of enjoy that for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Then, as I said earlier, life got real lifey, and everything just kind of
Yeah.
kind of tumbled down a
Do-
little bit for
Do you want to talk about that?
we can do some, just a quick little update. Um, so we had mentioned previously about my mother has been battling cancer since 2014. She had kind of been having a rough go of it the last few months. Since about April, she's been in and out of the hospital, and they were some longer stays. And it's interesting because, like, I can you kind of feel the universe of, like, the texts will slow down between my siblings and I, or things like that. So it's sometimes like I can tell that something's up, but they're not ready to tell me, kind of situation, or they don't know what the outcome is going to be and they don't want me to worry, or things like that. So it's like I get it. But yeah, long story short, I was beckoned to Texas at the beginning of August, and within a couple days of getting there, Mom had passed on. Officially lost her battle with cancer. So that's been a whole experience in of itself, and been a difficult thing to cope with.
You did tell me at the time that you hadn't seen her that peaceful.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yep.
And so we watch a lot of Tyler Henry, and we believe that somehow we're our whatevers, our consciousness.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the energy. The
Yeah.
energy goes somewhere. And, like, think of your most basic science lesson of, like, your whole Newton's laws. The energy that exists will always continue to exist. Things like that. So, like, yes, she's just not, and it sounds like super cheesy and woo-woo, but, like, no, she's just not in the earthbound
Corporeal state.
Yeah, like, she's just not in the husk anymore. Like, and that's okay. Like,
yeah,
we got 8 years more than we ever thought we were going to get. I mean, especially the last 5.
That's true. Of which, that's when I entered the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when we were still at the beach bungalow, like, you and I hadn't even been together that long. I think it was already, I forget if it was before or after, like, I had gone back to Texas that first trip. Like, when I officially had the conversation with my family that I wasn't coming back, kind of thing.
That was like August, I thought.
Yeah, that was August, because I came back just before your birthday. That's when, like, I can't remember.
And I went to Burning Man.
Yeah. I can't remember if, like, that, I remember being in the mini D, and
Mini dungeon.
Dad called me. I went to the other room because I was like, that doesn't happen very often. Like, something's up.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just remember just sobbing in the other room.
Aww.
Like, and it was that day we were going to be going out with our friends. We were going on a double date with our pals, and, like, you asked me if I wanted to cancel. But, like, you've been on the roller coaster with us. Definitely, like, supporting me along the way.
Right.
But yeah, definitely the last 5 years, especially, we didn't expect. So I have to be incredibly, incredibly thankful for that. It sucks that the last 3 were in the midst of a pandemic when we couldn't do anything. Because that's one of the things we have loved doing over the past few years, was traveling and getting to have experiences together.
In fact, just for the lockdown, you and the whole family had gone on, like, a pretty extensive vacation.
Big family vacation.
Like a cruise. You went on a cruise.
Yeah, we went on,
the Caribbean.
Well, there was, like, a week-long road trip before the cruise.
That is right. You stopped in New Orleans, and, like, you were, like, doing Bourbon Street
did some random shit in Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
I know. And then, yeah, we went on the cruise, and then got back to Florida just in time for Thanksgiving with family that lives down there. Like, it was just a really, really great family trip. Like, I know we've talked about it separately, but I do wish that that was the one that you had been on.
Yeah.
Like, each of us had our, kind of our own space, and we were able to get space from each other and each other's energy when we needed to. And I think that is part of what contributed to the other family trip that did not go as awesome. Like, we were just too confined.
Right.
And also there was a group that had already been in a car for a week and a half with 4 children. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't excuse anything, but that is not a fun situation to be in.
Yeah. But that is really for another episode.
Yeah, that's a total other thing.
We talk about that, but talking about your mom.
Yeah, so we got to have, some really great trips. Again, it totally sucks that it was, the past few years have been in the midst of a pandemic. I'm lucky that I was in a situation that I was able to drive back and forth a handful of times.
You were able to spend a good amount of time
Yeah.
in Texas, especially after you left the job from hell.
Yeah.
Up north.
Yeah, I think that is one of the harder parts I've had, is knowing that the times that they did come out here, I should have fought for more time.
Yep.
Because I didn't get time with my mom here.
You okay? A little scratchy? Crumbs woke up but is now scratching herself.
And back to sleep.
And she's out. Okay, good.
See, I wish I would have pushed for more attention when she was here, but I understand that there were other things that she needed to have peace with. She and I have had a lot of conversations and been able to really be on the same page and understand each other over the last few years.
That's good.
So we were able to talk about things that, like, a lot of people don't go back and address with their parents, or when they do, said parent does the defensive, like, I gave you everything, and oh, so I was just a terrible parent. It's like, no one gave, like, that's the thing. I don't have overtly bad childhood trauma. I have complex shit that built up over a period of time. Like, I never had abusive parents. I never had parents that crossed boundaries they shouldn't cross. It's like, I don't even know how to delicately say that.
I think just saying, like, your parents were not abusive to you physically.
Yeah. Like, I had amazing parents. Are there things that they could have done better? Of course.
Yeah.
But again, no one tells you. Like, you aren't aware. I mean, even through all of this, I had mentioned something to my dad about a period of time that was specifically really, really hard on he and I. Him being the person who was, directly going through this really hard time in his relationship with my mother, and me being a 6-year-old watching it happen. And it hit my dad that, oh, it didn't even dawn on him what I had experienced, what I had seen, what I had gone through in that period of time, still affecting me almost 30 years later.
Right.
Like, the fact that things in that period of time are still so vivid and still things I think about, and they're still right there.
20 years later.
20 years later.
You're like,
25.
You just feel like you're almost 40.
No, it's just like, I was a kid.
Yes, you're a baby.
But, like, then you think about, like, at the age I am now, my parents they were on kid 3. Like, they were babies raising babies still.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine raising one tiny human at this point in my life, much less 3. And I know you feel similarly. You just had this conversation with your middle kid.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, I don't fault them or blame them, but we were able to have those conversations that brought us both a lot of peace and healing.
That is good.
Yeah.
That is really good. And that's probably one of the fears that I have with my parents is I keep feeling like I should do more. I should be there. I should be with them more. I should like talk to them more. But like right now, my brain is just in some weird place.
Yeah. But I will say you especially I think about the last year, I think you've been trying to be better about, calling them at least a couple of times a week, and you've been better about reaching out yourself.
Yeah, not lately though. The last few weeks I've been kind of like, but I've kind of dropped out.
Yeah, we've had some stuff going on up here because, I mean, there's more. It's like a
Oh yeah.
It's like a bad infomercial, but wait, there's more.
So mother's gone.
Yeah, my mom passed on August 8th. We had her celebration of life the weekend following, and it was really beautiful to see the people whose life she impacted. Of course, getting messages and support from friends I haven't heard from, or people I haven't heard from. It definitely helps to know like how loved she was and how much of an impact in people's lives that she did have.
Yeah. When you told me, I had nobody else to talk to. I was just here alone.
Yeah.
So I just kind of balled up and cried for her.
Yeah. Yeah, that was...
It was okay.
Yeah. That is one of the things that made me sad, was you not getting to, like, actually get to say goodbye to her. Nobody wasn't in a position to be able to travel because of, pain stuff still.
Plus, it was last minute. And
it was super
your
last
plane
minute.
ticket was
almost $1,000.
fucking A.
Yeah. So yeah, it's super pricey. Like, it was not the best financial decision for us to both have gone, but also like you would have been miserable for that 4-hour flight?
Yes.
4-hour flight.
And it's flipping hot there, right?
Well, it was, but we were inside
Okay.
all the time.
But sitting around, no.
Yeah. So we decided, I asked him, like, do you want to record a video or a voice memo? So we went that route, and I, played your voice memo for her a few times, and
Yeah.
It's definitely an interesting experience, like, and it's an experience that other people in my circle or in my family have had, but I hadn't, as far as being so close with someone who is that close to the end. Like, you realize how thin that veil is between the earthbound energy and the not. Because she was getting messages from our old animals, like family members that have passed on, friends that have passed on, like, just saying, like, no, like, so the couple of times where she would,
Be lucid.
be out enough of the anxiety medication and pain medication and everything that was, all of her comfort care.
Right.
It was a lot of in and out, and we would know that, actually if she's coming out, that means her, her medications are starting to lighten up, and if we don't, it is time to start that next dose, so that, 20 minutes from now, she's not in a shit ton of pain.
Right.
So, like, it was a very weird balance of, like, but I want you here to talk to you longer, but I know that it's going to cause so much more pain.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting one. Yeah. Need a drink for a second.
You can pause. All right. There we go.
So yeah, it was a lot of emotions that just continuously contradicted themselves. Like, no, I don't want you to be in pain. I don't want you to be poked and prodded and studied anymore. But I also, like, really am not ready for you to go.
Right.
So it was a hard experience. I think at some point I texted you 0 out of 10, do not recommend.
And even if I could, I probably wouldn't have gone because it was really like, I felt like it was more like, y'all, that you're very like nuclear family type of thing. You should just deal with that. Plus, I think as I've gotten older, I've become more emo and very easy to like, get all verklempt. Get all like worked up and all like, and start like getting all like, quivery lip and all. I get, it's like, I guess, in the old days, I would say like, become more of a bitch.
Well, you're
crybaby.
not masking your emotions so much anymore.
Oh.
You're not trying to present yourself as the big tough advertising guy.
Oh no, wait, hold on, wait. Interesting thing is though.
I know you were usually like the nicer, like heart to heart dude at work too, but like still, you had a persona.
I guess when I was like dealing with like, when I was dealing with work, I was like, snap, I know what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. But then when I was like, and I remember this like pretty much with almost all of my teams, when I got to a moment where I was going to talk with them about, how proud I was of them, and I do try to give off a lot of great feedback and things like that, and whenever I like try to like speak to them all that, I would start getting worked up, and I could feel myself about to like start crying. I'm like, what's the matter with me? I gotta stop this. And like just end it. Like, okay, all right, everybody, get out of here.
Yeah, good job.
But anyway.
See, I think it's a combination of a few things of like you're not masking emotions anymore, but also like you have become more in tuned with yourself, therefore your emotions.
So knowing me, I would have been like a huge distraction. Just like
I would have been making sure you were okay the whole
I'll be
time.
bawling and crying all the time and slobbering, and you'd have to take care of me.
Oh God, you would have been a mess.
I would have been a super hot mess, and it would look like I'm like trying to get all the attention.
Oh, it would totally look like you're being an attention whore.
But I'm just really like an empathetic person.
He just has real big feelings.
I'm a huge empath.
Yeah, no, I get that on a level. Because I mean that's also the same reason why we kind of opted for you to not go to the wedding was so that I wasn't going to be making sure you weren't being a little shit stirrer. And
oh man, I would have brought my gun and holster as well.
When in Texas.
Fuck yeah.
But
I did sell my 357 Magnum though.
I don't know what these words mean.
It's a big bang bang. It's a big bang bang.
It go pew pew.
It's a Dirty Harry gun.
Oh.
He's the one. That's the gun he's carrying when he goes like, I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 5 or did he fire 6 shots? Come to think of it, I can't remember either. But as this is a 357 Magnum and will blow your head clean off, you got to ask yourself, do I feel lucky? Well, do you feel lucky, punk? I don't think that's verbatim. I'll have to double check. It's been so long since I've seen Dirty Harry. But anyway.
But yeah, it was a hard experience. Because Nobi wasn't able to go, I asked you if you wanted to record a video message or a audio message, and you
That
opted.
was even hard, recording an audio message. Did you hear me kind of getting
yes,
and kind of like
yes, which is why I know you cut it early. You were like, "And I love you," and
I'm like, no more. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a blathering idiot.
Yeah, like it was hard, but I'm glad that we were able to get everyone like into town for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, of course, people in similar situations to you who like aren't able to travel at this time weren't able to be there, but pretty much everyone was.
Yeah, your grandma didn't fly.
Yeah, grandma wasn't able to make it.
Your mom's mom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's got to be tough, losing a couple of your kids.
Yeah, you lost both of your twins.
Oh.
See, that would have been 2014.
Yeah.
So 8 years apart.
Well, when your dad and brother come out,
Yeah, we're gonna go up and.
you're gonna go up and you're gonna go see your grandma.
Yes, I'll go. I will actually go to the house. That is the.
Well, you've learned how to share space.
Yeah, that is like I guess the good byproduct of all of that was I haven't spoken with my aunt in 3 years, and like not in a everything's cool, we're just going to act like nothing happened. Like we're not okay, but we can at least exist in the same space together and not wish death upon each other.
I doubt that either of you are wishing death upon each other.
Well, no,
but
just,
but I know that both of you are not happy with each other,
yeah.
and it does seem like that you are being mistreated.
Well, I'm at the point where I'm tired of having to be the adult in these situations.
Oh, I totally agree.
Like and it goes for many many things, but like I'm so tired of having to be the adult in the situation
One
where
that takes the high road.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
Like you still see me as a child, so why am I having to be the adult in this scenario? Like why am I the one who has to take the big step first? Why am I the one who has to put out the olive branch? For the sake of peace, but why am I the one who has to do it?
And you didn't, and you shouldn't have to, because you were not in the wrong.
I know, but I'm the one who ends up in multiple scenarios. I was the first one to initiate contact, not the people who fucked up, treated me badly, said incredibly mean things, or anything like that. It's just I'm the one who literally reached out and offered hugs and I'm sorries, and because I'm not a shitty person.
Because you're human. You're human. And you took the high road. That's it.
I don't want to anymore.
Well,
I want to be a shitty person. It seems a lot easier.
yeah, totally. And apparently you can get away with it too.
Yeah, see, if you have no morals, you just find people who also have no morals, and you just succeed in everything in life. But mom passed at the beginning of August. On August 8th, we had her celebration of life the following weekend, and had a bunch of like some of her old coworkers and a bunch of family that showed up. I'm not gonna lie. On multiple occasions throughout the week, I was like, you would think this would be a good time to be poly, but when neither of your partners can be here, it's not fun. like I have two people. I have two people who I'd be getting support from.
And we were on opposite coasts.
And they're on opposite coasts. Neither of them can get to me. I'm like, this is when polyamory would be coming in handy, but this just sucks even more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a whole meltdown series that I had that I was like, I'm not telling him this because it's just gonna make him feel bad. Like, but yeah, no, there were multiple times where I was like, polyamory should make this easier. But yeah, it's like, no, instead of just one person not being able to be here for me, I have two people that can't be here for me.
But you're able to stay in touch with your
Yes,
your
both
girlfriend.
both you and my other partner were amazing, and
we actually were checking in on each other as well.
yeah, y'all were checking in on each other. And you were doing most of the interface with like my local friends here.
Yeah.
Because I don't text well in a crisis. I don't text well,
Period,
but really, really not well in a crisis.
You've always texted well with me from day one.
Well, yeah, because when there's that, and also when I can tell that that other person is so eagerly communicating with me, like I can tell that we're both vibing into it, not just like, it's totally one of those like energetic things. And it was the same, early on with my other partner and I, the pandemic and, so much distance for so long, like our communication did slow down because it was this weird catch-22 of, yes, I feel better about our connection when we talk, but it also just makes me really sad when we talk because we can't deepen this connection much more right now. So it was this, like, I really want us to communicate more, but then, like, it also makes me really sad when we communicate more. So we had to kind of just, like, pull back from things a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, there's some sadness about, the fact that my other partner never got to meet Mom.
Oh, that's right.
And like the time I wish we could have spent together when she was out here. I didn't assert myself or my wants as much as I wish I would have, but I also know that mom had other business that she needed to go through. Like over the past few years, she and I were lucky enough to have a lot of really good conversations that we were able to like be really honest with each other and find some sort of, peace and healing from, this thing that had affected me when I was a kid that, either didn't understand fully or didn't know how to talk about it. Like just those things that, like, I don't know, as someone who was raised by parents, they didn't get everything right. And it wasn't always okay. Like
what parent does get everything right?
Exactly. Like I didn't. I had like overall great childhood. Like I have great parents that loved the shit out of me. Still do. They think I'm kind of cool. I have no idea why. That, always worked as hard as they possibly could to try to take care of all of our wants and needs.
Within their means.
Yeah, within their means, and unfortunately with our society, the means were low.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are things that definitely I still live with, like to this day, that have affected me, but I don't. It was always really helpful to be able to have those conversations with Mom and find some sort of understanding from like where she was at in that stage. Yeah. Like being able to, my parents were separated when I was, pre-K, kindergarten, like very early stages of my life. And there were a lot of things from that time period that affected me that, neither of my parents realized like would be a big deal. But it was, and there are things that have stayed with me for a very long time. Like even my dad and I have had very recent conversations where I said something, about that time period that it was probably the roughest on he and I, and it like finally registered with him. Like he had just never thought of it. That, 25 years later, like I'm still thinking about this time period. But he is too.
Just from a different perspective.
Yeah, it's just from a different perspective, and so
and oftentimes you forget about how that affects.
You don't think, well, also when your youngest is 6 years old, you're not realizing how much they're observing, how much we pay attention.
Yeah.
Because we do.
Because that's about the time your memory.
Yeah, your little sponges.
Like how far? It's like how far back do you remember? And that's probably like I started remembering stuff around maybe four.
Yeah, 4 was.
Really, so we scattered memories.
Yeah, smaller. Like only like the big impactful stuff earlier on, but yeah, like not necessarily because I have a shit memory anyway because depression and trauma and
yeah,
all of the fun things. But like yeah, probably the more full Rolodex of memories probably started around 5 or 6. Because yeah, the earliest memory I have is from like a big accident that we had in front of our neighbor's house, and I smashed open my face, my chin, and my leg. I only remember the accident. I don't remember, again, trauma blockout. I don't remember the ER trip afterwards where I was apparently laughing in the nurse's face as they stitched my eyebrow. Without lidocaine or anything. I just was giggling in their face because that's how I deal with pain.
I was wondering, yes, I know. I was wondering, like, how many, because, like, my memories are just, like, snippets, right? Like, there's this interaction at this point in time, and, like, I'm trying to think now, like, how many of those little snippets do I have per year? It's almost like we should maybe sit down one time and just record it and just talk about each, what do we remember, write it all down. And see, like, okay, I have 3 from, like, age 5, that kind of stuff. Because I feel like...
Well, I mean, that's almost the interesting part of, like, you also almost need someone, like a parent or an older sibling to, like, flesh out those time periods. Because something that I'm like, no, that was when I was, like, 6 or 7. I'll be talking through something with my brother, and he's like, no, you were 10 because I was almost out of high school. Like...
I should do it with my sister. Just like everybody just record like year by year, like every memory they have, and then get together and then compare, like remember and sort of like get it all organized. That'd be kind of a cool family project. It'd be just me and my sister doing it. It'd be super boring.
Like it is funny. Like when I've been talking with my oldest brother as we like compare life experiences, like. I can't remember what trip it was, but I asked him something about like his like middle school and high school girlfriends. I'm like, whatever did happen with so and so, and I get this story, and I'm like, wait, like when did this happen? Like,
because you were too young to.
I was too young to remember.
Weren't part of the conversation.
Yeah, I wasn't involved in it, so I'm just like, wait, where was I?
you're picking your nose and. I did blah 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 at school.
So it's so funny, like to go back and figure out like that. That's also the interesting of like what are the side storylines that were occurring.
Yeah.
Like if you consider yourself the main character, like all those other side stories.
Or think of it in terms of we just start back with each character. And follow them from their perspective.
Like the most annoying row your boat, like.
Actually, there are movies that do that, which is kind of interesting. Like from their perspective, which I kind of want to watch now. So let's see if we can find some. But anyway, where are we going back to? Oh, so next time they come out, you're gonna try to go see your grandma.
Yeah. So I'll go see family up there with them. Yeah, it's been interesting. Lots of, people who I've appreciated hearing from people that I have, not that I don't appreciate hearing from people I don't know. How do I?
Yeah.
I don't know. There were people that I heard from that it did not spark the most joy.
It just felt very flat and forced,
Yeah.
and more about them appeasing their whatever.
Yeah, making
than
themselves
anything.
feel better.
Yeah, that's all.
But like I got messages from, old students of Mom's, or, connected with some of her old coworkers, just little things like that. And I also am incredibly thankful that we had friends that, showed up pretty hard for me over the past couple months, whether it's been buying tickets for me for something to get me out of the house, or we had a friend that gifted us one of their free boxes to HelloFresh, which has been incredibly helpful.
So far, every dish has been pretty tasty.
Yeah, that was this week, and it has been incredibly helpful to not have to think about what to eat, because it's hard coming back to real life.
Yeah.
Because none of this feels real still. Like, none of this feels right. But yeah, coming back to, oh, you mean I still have to figure out what to feed myself? And you want me to do it multiple times a day? Like that? No.
Thank you, DoorDash.
Yeah, you took it on yourself for a good chunk of time there, as far as just like, okay, food's ordered, it'll be here in a little bit, without like not even asking me what I'm in the mood for, which like I appreciate.
I think this is probably like only like until like this year have I like started like going, okay, don't need to ask. They probably don't want to make that decision, so I'm just going to decide based on what I know. Here, we order from here. Here are all your favorites.
Yeah, food shows up. I eat what I want and don't eat what I don't want, and it works out just fine. Although very, very seldom is there anything I don't want.
Like, because I only order things that I know you would like.
Yeah, I know, because we good that way.
Thai coffee, here's your Thai coffee, here's your pad Thai, here's your spring roll.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't eat the spring roll I got you last. The one
I
with
didn't.
the combo pork and
Because
shrimp.
I remembered when we had ordered from them and it was not good.
So did that end up, where is it?
I think it got given to the birds at some point.
Or did you throw it in the trash?
One of the two, I don't know.
Okay.
Anywho, yeah, that HelloFresh box has been a godsend this week. You definitely realize like why that's such a cliche, stereotypical thing like in old movies, because like I have definitely experienced it less now that our society is so like individualized, and you do you over there. So I definitely understand the old movie scenes where there's a funeral and then just a shit ton of casseroles get paraded through your house. So like, yeah, I get it. I understand it now. Give me fucking casseroles. Please help me feed myself, because I'm really not doing a great job at it. Like,
I'm proud of you for reaching out on the Facebook group and saying, hey, I could use a casserole, and one of our, one of the people here in town dropped off
that was actually
lasagna.
Signing up for not even a Facebook group. It's a whole nonprofit service called Lasagna for Love, I think.
Oh.
And it started, very similarly. Someone lost a parent and realized how hard it was to feed themselves. And then another friend went through the loss, and so they, started dropping off lasagnas, and then that same friend was like, that was really helpful, like I want to do that too. Mm-hmm. And so now it's a nationwide network of like no questions asked. You just go fill out a form. You can select whether you have like dietary restrictions. You can tell them however little or however much about your situation as you want. It's like, and it's no questions asked. It can be, you don't have food to eat this week, or you know what? Our refrigerator died, and all of our groceries that we just spent all of our money, all of this week's money on, are toast. Like, whatever your situation is, they don't care.
Yeah.
It's whatever you're going through. We just want to make sure that you have a healthy meal that makes you feel good.
It's all volunteer.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So yeah, that was that. I am also proud of myself for, like, because I remember hearing about this thing like years ago.
Yeah.
And it like popped in my brain of like, oh hey, I can do that. I'm a person who like
Could use some help.
who qualifies for such help, because you like there is still a lot of like internalized shame and and other stuff of like, no, I am able to take care of myself, but my brain is just really not letting me do a good job of it right now. Like, it's just not helping out with the situation whatsoever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that like, oh no, I am fucked up enough to finally get a free lasagna. It's like, no, there's no qualifier. It's okay. You're a human.
Yeah.
Get a lasagna. Like,
That's true.
like, but it
Okay.
was a huge help. We stretched it into 3 meals that week, and then we still have some chunks in the freezer.
I did put a chunk of the freezer.
Like,
And the birds got whatever like wasn't eaten it that was warmed up.
yeah.
You know.
So it was really helpful.
Yeah. So it's been busy.
Yeah, and that's really only the start of it. There's more, but we'll get into that at another time.
Yeah, we'll do that. But we're gonna try to get back into recording more, and we have been. I've been staying in touch with our groups via the social media.
And we like went out in the real world recently.
Yes, we actually. What did we do?
Well, while I was in Texas for a different reason, you went to a jam.
A rope social.
And then we went to a slosh yesterday, actually.
Yeah, a drinky thing, and we actually met some new people.
Yeah, we met some new people. We met some people you had like connected with on like various dating apps.
Yes.
Over a while. Saw some familiar faces, but lots of new faces.
And I do appreciate the people that made the effort to break through my resting bitch face and introduce themselves. I know I don't look super welcoming.
Yeah, you're...
I think it's just me kind of going into my hole.
I know.
Or like
we all have to
people.
figure out how to socialize again.
There are people.
And yeah, it's odd. But yeah, I got to see some old pals from that meetup and a couple new ones.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people there.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So I think also there's a good number of those people that want to come join us down here for the next rope social. So might be able to get to see more of everybody more often.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good.
And then we have another friend that I might like just go hang out with them and their partners and go do stuff in the out.
To what out?
Go to BK's. One has a burlesque show. One daddy has a burlesque show, and Mr. Daddy has a show.
Yeah.
And a couple other things.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about if we go or not, or what. Because I was like, that's a lot of stuff. That's like going to LA.
No, it'd probably be like me going with them. Because I doubt you'd be up for a general admission metal show.
Yeah. You'd go.
That doesn't sound your speed.
You'd go as his plus one.
Yes, I would. I already told him. I was like, can I just like be the free throw-in gift for your sugar daddies? Like, I don't need any of the money. I just want to go on all the stuff. I just want to go on the trips and the experiences. Like, can I just tag along for free?
Well, that'll definitely be another episode for sure.
Well, yeah, and also there is that benefit of a lot of that person's circle is in the
industry.
pro dom industry, so it's like there are some social benefits of being social.
That's true. That's true. Anyway.
But yeah, those that will potentially be some other episodes. Oh, we did also learn about flavored cocaine. We don't do cocaine, but I did learn that it exists apparently if you have a shit ton of money in LA.
Yeah, it's on the shelf right next to the rainbow fentanyl. Anyway, no, that was bad. We do appreciate y'all listening to us, and
thanks for sticking out with us.
Yes, we did dip a little in our rankings, even globally. So,
oh no.
So I guess if we don't keep talking to y'all are gonna forget about us. Nah,
you can't forget the weirdos. You can't forget.
We're the unforgettable weirdos. Anyway, please do check us out on weirdosonline.com, and we look forward to talking at you more, and hopefully seeing you on one of our social medias, the Weirdos Next Door podcast on IG. Oh, all the links are on our weirdosonline.com.
Yeah, everything's there.
Yeah, go there, weirdosonline.com. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Ta-ta.
Smash your social mores with the Weirdos Next Door.